Hello and thank you for joining us for this Lighthouse Bitesize. This week is going to be a little bit different because we have got Ben Lawrance with us. So if you're watching this live this morning, then this afternoon we have got Ben Lawrence with us. He's going to do a little concert for us. But if not, then still watch, enjoy. You're going to hear a little bit of Ben Lawrence's story. But first of all, we're going to start off with a bit of time of worship.
We've seen what you can do, oh God of wonders. Your power has no end. The things you've done before, in greater measure, you will do again. And there's no prison wall you can't break through. There's no broken body you can raise, no soul that you can't save. All things are possible. The darkest night, you can light it up. Oh, you can light it up. Oh, God of revival, let hope arise, 'cause death is overcome and you've already won. Oh, God of revival,
Hey Lighthouse, I'm Ben Lawrance, and I'm really excited to bring my band to play some songs for you tonight at 4 p.m. They're songs from my debut album, Oh Wide World, which I wrote after losing my twin brother Dan to cancer in 2016 when we were 25. To summarise the album, I guess I would say it's about my journey, and by that I mean it's my honest account of what it's like to go through loss, to grieve, but through the eyes of faith, and what it looks like to find hope in the hardest of places. So I really hope you'll come out and come and see us. We're going to play it kind of as an acoustic set with a little bit of an interview. So it'll be kind of laid back. You'll be able to talk about the songs, and it'll be really nice to see you there. And something I wanted to just quickly touch on is a really fond memory that I have with my brother Dan, and that is, it's a bit of a weird one. So Dan loved the Bible and he loved reading scripture, and I remember this one time a couple of years before he died, and before that we even knew that actually he was unwell. I remember this was when we lived together at home, and I ran into his bedroom, and I remember him saying, "I'm really excited, I want to tell you about this book in the Bible that I've just read." I was like, okay, cool. Probably going to be one of the Gospels or something exciting, or like Revelations or something like that. And then he goes, no, it's Ecclesiastes. I said, oh, okay, right. Well, I mean, I haven't read the full thing of Ecclesiastes, but like, what I've heard is it's not the happiest of books. In fact, it's quite a tough read. Why are you so excited about it? And he carried on being so excited about what he'd read inside of it. And I guess in some sort of hindsight, I can see how that might have been God preparing him for what he was about to go through. And I'll unpack that a little bit more. So the writer of Ecclesiastes says that they are someone who've experienced kind of everything in life. I guess the highs and the lows, the good times, the bad times, happy stuff, sad stuff, richness, poorness, whatever they want to kind of say that they've experienced. They say they've done it all. And what they've figured out is that it's all meaningless. And this is kind of where I was coming from when I said to Dan, hey, what do you mean? What do you mean you're really excited about this book? This book has just told us that life is a bit meaningless. And the thing is, it does say that. But actually, if you start to read between the lines and you start to understand what the writer is actually trying to communicate, it's something so much deeper and much more important than just life is meaningless, life is pointless. So I'm going to read a little section from my favourite chapter in Ecclesiastes. And I actually wrote one of the songs off of Oh Wide World, kind of semi-based on this a little bit. The song's called Moving, and it was one of the first tracks that I actually wrote after Dan passed away. And I don't know if I'd really even correlated that conversation, that memory, and this song while I was writing it. But I remembered these Bible verses, and I remembered thinking about them a lot during that time. So I'll quickly read just a few verses from this, and then I'll maybe finish with a little point. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. From verse 1, and it says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance." And it goes on and it goes on, and there's so much more in there. And I guess in reflection of Dan's life and what he was so excited about from this is, and I'm kind of taking a bit of a guess, but I think I might be correct on it, is that Dan had realized that the writer of Ecclesiastes was saying that all of these things in life are meaningless. They are meaningless if you look at them through a different lens. And that lens, I guess, is to say, yeah, you can have kind of a good life or a bad life. You could be, some high roller with a mansion and Bentley or whatever people drive, a Tesla or whatever people drive these days. Or you could, be someone living on the streets and not have anything, other than your sleeping bag. But if you see through all of that stuff of life, the stuff that we as humans, I guess, kind of consume or like look for because we think it means that we're more successful or that we could be more happier or that we might, overcome kind of this quest in our own lives to sort of be something or to do something or to achieve something or to figure out life, crack the case, find the ultimate key to the ultimate lock of life. And we chase after all of these things, and the writer of Ecclesiastes calls it chasing the wind, like chasing the wind. Just imagine that for a little moment, chasing the wind, and then you go, well, how far would I have to go to keep chasing the wind? Does it ever stop? Does it just keep going round? And that's what he means. You're just chasing the wind. You're chasing these things that, okay, they're not unimportant. And the writer of Ecclesiastes makes that point. He says, actually, it's good to be happy. It's good to find happiness. Try and find happiness. Try and live the good life. Maybe think about what the good life actually means. Maybe that doesn't mean having everything you ever wanted. Maybe it just means being content. Maybe it just means living a life where you know that you are looking after yourself and your family and your friends and the people in your church and those around you in your community. Whatever it is, he doesn't say you can't have those things or you shouldn't have those things. But what he's saying is, in the end, all of it's meaningless. There's that little phrase that people say, and maybe you hear it in some country song or something like that, you can't take it with you when you go. And I really like that, but I also kind of don't get it sometimes. Okay, we accumulate things. This is my home studio. There are a lot of things in it that I use to make things. That's fine. I can't take them with me when I go. But actually you can take something with you when you go, and that is a true full understanding and faith in God. A true and full understanding that your life was built for something more than just what you accumulate or what you do with it or what, whatever happens to you or how you manage life. Maybe we all think we're sort of the boss of our own existence or something like that. To summarize, I guess what the writer of Ecclesiastes is trying to teach us is that you can kind of do all of the different bits of life, however your life goes, happy, sad, whatever. But if you don't spend your life searching for the actual meaning of it, then what have you achieved by the end of it? Because lots of people, I guess, kind of chase after the wind. Chase after the wind. Chase after the things in life that they think are supposed to make them happy, or that they're supposed to do, or that they need, or that life is supposed to give them. And actually what the writer of Ecclesiastes is trying to teach us is that it doesn't matter which way life goes, but you need to search for God, and you need to understand that he has such a bigger idea, such a bigger perspective on your life than you do, and that he wants you to have this deep, meaningful and important relationship with him. And that's something you can take with you when you go. That is something that matters and isn't meaningless like what the writer of Ecclesiastes says about everything else. You can take that with you when you go. So I'd encourage you to kind of maybe read Ecclesiastes, maybe take a deep breath before you do that. And I'd love to see you out at the gig tonight at 4 p.m. with my band, and hope to see you there.
Remember when we were young, in the smell of this house and the songs that we've sung,
Sitting on the couch, making music all day long. How I treasure the sound of nostalgia. Neither of us were ever wrong. It's stubbornness brawling on the kitchen floor. But when I think of all that we've become, how I treasure the sting of nostalgia. The feeling and let it sink in, let it sink in more. Embrace the feeling and let it sink in. Embrace the feeling and let it sink in. Let it sink in more. Embrace the feeling and let it sink in. I remember when we were young, in the smell of this house and the songs that we've sung, sitting on the couch, making music all day long. And when I think of all that we've become, how I treasure nostalgia.
Thanks for joining us this week. Thanks for sharing your story with us, Ben. We're really looking forward to seeing you this afternoon. But that is all we have time for on this Lighthouse Bite Size.